And I am like the eve of my 40th birthday, and I thought...
You thought you were gonna just roll in.
I thought I could just roll in and just own that court of 10-year-olds. Instead, I made a urine fool of myself. Annyeonghaseyo, welcome to Afternoona Delight. We're Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists and your K-romance guides. So grab some tteokbokki and listen to your new favorite unease.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi there.
So, as you know, I'm the maknae of the pod, and I turn 40 tomorrow.
Good God. I thought we would never be in the same decade of ages.
I know. So by the time you listen to this, I will already be 40. My birthday is March 2nd.
Happy birthday, Megan.
Thank you. Don't steal my details.
Oh, like
oh
identity theft?
I'm like, wait, stole your identity?
So I don't have like a bad, like I love birthdays. Like I'm excited to turn 40, like super excited. And so my daughter plays indoor field hockey. Okay. And tonight was her last practice. And I was like feeling really good. They were going to have a parent versus kids hockey game. And I was like, yeah, man, like I played hockey in like middle school. I think I can hit the ball.
I want to watch. I wish I saw this.
It was great. And so we had to like take 2 laps around the little court. And already I was like, those were 2 laps and I'm winded. This is not looking good. And it was funny because we were like hitting the ball. I was like passing the ball with my daughter. And the coach goes to me, that was a good stop. And I swear to God, I preened. Like I was like in middle school all over again. This coach is like younger than me. So anyway, then they had this game. And I was like, okay, I know how to play. This will be fine. This will be fine. And I'm playing forward, which is a stupid idea, and I go for the ball, and look, in my mind, I am still as fast as I was in middle school when I ran track. Like, I was pretty fast when I was younger, and in my mind, I am still that fast, but I am, like 40 pounds heavier, and I've had 2 kids. When I tell you I wiped out...
Oh, no.
I wiped out. Like, I mean, full on
ate shit
on this court. And then, of course, peed myself because I have a terrible pelvic floor. I like felt it and I was like, I am glad I'm wearing dark pants because everyone would absolutely see that I peed myself. And right away, I felt this like really awful twinge in my knee, my right knee. And I was like, oh, fuck. But I'm like, it's fine. So I get up and I'm playing more.
With your wet pants and your tweets.
With my
knee.
wet pants, I smell like pee. And then the ball comes to me again, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to redeem myself. I ate shit.
No.
For the second time. In front of everyone. My knee hurts so bad. I am icing it. I am currently icing my knee. And I am like the eve of my 40th birthday. And I thought...
You thought you were going to just roll in.
I thought I could just roll in and just own that court of 10-year-olds. Instead, I made a urine fool of myself. And so I am like feeling a little down. I'm in a little bit of pain. And it's the last practice. Okay, that's why we had this thing. And then we were like all walking to a pizza party, which I was like, clearly I don't need pizza. This is a signal. But I see I have a missed call from Leah. And I'm like a little panicked. Like obviously I didn't have my phone on me when I was like eating shit twice and injuring myself. And I was like,
how many times have I called you? Once, I think.
I don't think you've ever called. Well, I mean,
I called you once when I was pregnant.
That's it. You did call me when you... That's true.
Freaked out. And for some reason, you were on my list of people to tell, like, the minute I found out before my husband, when I was panicking. I remember why. I called you because I knew that you weren't going to force me to be... I mean, look, I love my youngest child, but it wasn't an expected pregnancy. And I had feelings when I found out I was pregnant. And I was, like, more pregnant than I should have been to, like, be realizing I was pregnant. Because I'd really, like, truly not believed I was pregnant. And so anyway... I had to have feelings, and I knew Megan was one person I could go to with no judgment that was going to be like, you don't have to feel super happy right now.
Yeah, I was going to let you have whatever feelings. I totally did get it. So yeah, so maybe I'm like, you know, I still have that on my mind or something, but I was like, Leah called me and I knew that this was when she was trying to get Suga tickets. So I was like, uh-oh. So I'm like, call her. And it's, I'm surrounded by fucking field hockey games. It's like the slap of the ball. I'm limping, visibly limping with pee pants. I can barely hear her. Her voice keeps cutting out. And why don't you tell me what you told me? Why you called me?
So I called you again because apparently when you're a good person to go to when I know you're going to understand very quickly what my emotion is. And I don't need to like discuss it. I just need you to like hear it. And then I like can move on with my life. And so I told Megan that we all know, or most of you know listening, that I really like Suga from BTS. We all know he's having a tour. We all have heard, if you listen to our podcast regularly, we went through some journeys where we're going to be seeing each other for his concert on May 16th. And working together in collaboration with a good friend, we were able to score soundcheck tickets for Oakland Arena on May 17th, which is amazing to me.
I was really happy for you.
Very happy. And I was driving and I was going to tell my sister. And then I was like, you know what? My sister, because my sister is like my best friend and her name's Megan. And I was like, my sister's going to be happy for me, but she's still not going to get it. I'm like, I'm going to call Megan and tell Megan. And so I hit Megan's number to call her. And then she didn't answer. So she called me back after. So then I got my sister. I literally cried to my sister. And my sister at the end was like, I'm happy for you. And I don't think that there's anything in the world that I would be this happy about. So I'm actually jealous for you. Because I don't think that I have anything that would make me act the way you're behaving right now on the phone.
That's a really lovely way to put it though. Like, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I was like, look, this is a big deal. I was like, he is going to look in your eyes and give you a personal finger heart. Like, that is going to happen. That is happening.
It's already crazy to have seen BTS and seen them as humans and been like, they're real people, because they're real people. But it's weird to like see them and be like, oh, like there's V just standing there, like chilling, and to like do that and just, it's gonna be a lot. So anyway, we'll talk about this on Afternoona Army. I have a lot of things around like the ticketing and how the experience went that I think would make like good pod fodder. But I just wanted to say energetically, thank you both for being there today. Amy, you had some success as well, and you'll be seeing him in Chicago.
Chicago and Oakland, yes.
Yeah.
My success in Chicago, though, is zero thanks to being a verified fan. I'm very proud that I have my Army card and that I got my code for the verified fan pre-sale. But when I tell you that it was stressful putting tickets in my basket and seeing them disappear the second I clicked on them, it was really rough. And I was texting Leah while this was happening because Megan was eating shit. I was losing my shit. And...
And I was just like in like a fugue shit state.
And well, Leah hadn't, because my pre-sale was 2 hours earlier. It was 2 hours earlier because I'm, Central Time and she's on the West Coast. So I'm texting Leah and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And Leah's like, I will check resale sites while you're still in Ticketmaster and let's see what's happening. And she found, surprise, surprise, that the resale sites were full of tickets because that's a lot of where some of the pre-sale stuff went to. So needless to say, I did get tickets for Chicago. I did not get them through Ticketmaster. I got them through resale sites. Nowhere near as much as they were asking when I tried to do this for Taylor Swift. I'm still out Taylor Swift. So if anybody has tickets for Taylor Swift in June in Chicago, hit me up. Or even just one and you can take my daughter. Like that's fine with me. But it is, I understand your emotion, Leah, because of how happy you are and because I know that he is everything to you. And I'm super excited to see him as well. But I also know that added, like, sort of ampedness of going through the experience of trying to get the tickets. Like, I never want to do that again, but I know that I will because it is the way.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate that it is.
It's the way, and it makes me laugh every time because I even see like, people having like their hot thinky takes like on Reddit and like the lead up to things. And so there was one that was just like, look, I hope he knows that even if he fills like, 60% of the arena, like good for him because like even like Lizzo fills like 90% most of the time. So he should just be happy. And I was like, are you not reading the room that this is going to be a fucking bloodbath?
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be I feel like what?
Yeah, so I mean, it just reminded me, people on the internet saying things are just people on the internet saying things. And also, I just hope that wherever he is in his little statistics loving heart and personal validation, he's feeling really good today, that he sold out, 5 major US cities
in minutes.
In like minutes.
Yeah, good.
So good for him. Good for you, buddy. You go.
This reminded me of a conversation I had with Neil J. I forgot. I gotta tell you guys. So, okay. So obviously I'm going to Oakland to see him in May, and I'm flying from Pennsylvania. So obviously that's a long flight. And on the way home, I have to get a red eye. It's basically the only option, which is fine. So but I do have to kind of sleep on the plane. Okay. And
Megan needs her naps.
Yeah. And we're going to London in August. So I was like, and I'll have to sleep on the plane then too. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to like do a trial run on a new neck pillow to sleep in, because I don't like the traditional neck pillow. I'm 4'11", like my neck isn't that long. Like it doesn't fit. It's awkward. It hurts, whatever. I don't like it. So I was showing Neil that I bought this like new different type of pillow, neck pillow, which I'll let you guys know how it goes.
All ready for a flight in 2 months.
Wait. Is this the face forward one?
No. It's just a different one. It
is the one you wear like a hood? Like, is that what you're talking about?
It's like it wraps around, but it's like also narrower, and it's so I can lean my head back. Because that's the thing, those traditional neck pillows, like they're too like big in the back. So I was just telling Neil, like Neil was like, well, the traditional neck pillow works fine for me. And I go, okay, well, that's like good for you. It doesn't work for me. And he looks at me, dead serious, in all earnestness, and says, I'm really lucky. Because, like, as an average man, everything just fits me.
Oh, God.
And I go, congrats, Neil. You just discovered the patriarchy at 40. Good fucking for you. Dead.
It's like the world is made
like
for me.
Everything works
out. As a white cishet male, everything just makes sense. And I was like, literally? I cannot believe we're having this conversation. It was like he literally just realized it.
It's like some people have a struggle that I don't have.
I go,
just like some people have books, Megan, with maps.
Right.
Can you believe it? They come up
and
with
they have like
worlds.
a thought out world.
I can't, guys. I can't.
Megan, no, you don't understand, Megan. You don't understand. It's like they have an idea and they unpack it over not one, but many books.
And he was like, no, that's not what I meant. I go, no,
it's exactly what he meant.
I don't care what you meant. You discovered patriarchy. Good for you. Like, I just can't. I was like, I'm so glad that you realize that one size fits all basically means you. Whatever. So I have a pillow that fits my childlike neck and head, and I'll let you know how it goes.
I say that you bought already for a flight in mid-May.
Shut up. I was very excited. I already looked on Wirecutter.
She was already messaging Leah, like literally we booked the hotel. And she's messaging Leah. So what is the weather like mid-May? Will I be okay in jeans?
No, can I wear yeah. I was like, I'm not sure what
Leah's like, as opposed to what? And I was like, well, do I have to wear shorts and a tank top? Can I wear jeans? I'm like,
are you fucking packing already? Like, it's May 15th we're leaving.
I'm a planner.
So here's the thing.
I'm a planner, but good God, woman.
Amy is like, I'm not trying to dog on age or anything, because I don't think it matters. But so Amy's our oldest member. And today we have Megan acting like a fresh hot boomer. Like, what am I going to pack for 3 months from now? And I had to call Amy today.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, please don't talk to me. I'm really stressed. But can you help me? Because I don't know how to turn on my notifications on any of my things. Because I was just getting Facebook Messenger stuff. Out of the blue, I never get Messenger.
She's like, how do I turn off notifications? I go...
Yeah,
I'm like, go to settings, notifications, and then turn them off.
I was like, just make the world quiet. I need quiet to focus.
If you listen to our Hit the Spot podcast, our last episode, you can hear how Leah discovers Facebook Messenger notifications. It's so funny. I edited it and left it all in.
Oh my God. And it was funny. I understand the stress of this of needing to focus for this. Like I picked my son up from school today. Usually he takes the bus home on Wednesdays and I take him to his dad's. That's the regular drill. But if he took the bus home, he would have gotten home at like 2:40 and I would have already been in the queue and I would not have left the house until after the shitstorm ended. So he gets out of school at 2:10. The waiting room opened at 2:30. His dad lives like 15 minutes away. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting in the Circle Drive line at like 2:50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you do not stroll out of the building. You walk right to me and you get in the car. And of course, like he's an almost 14-year-old boy. And like, I tell him all this at 6 a.m. And then he's walking out the door today and he's like just moseying and talking to his buddy. And I'm like motioning like, come here. And he gets in the car and I don't even wait for him to put his seatbelt on to start pulling out of the circle. And I'm like, come on, I'm in a rush. And he's like, why? I go, why am I picking you up and you're not on the bus? He's like, oh, BTS tickets. I'm like, good.
You're like squealing on 2 wheels out of the school.
Seriously, he's like, are you going to speed? I'm like, yeah, I am. I walked in my door at 2:35, did not take my coat or my shoes off, got right in the queue and just sat there.
Yeah.
Fully like coat still like buttoned up, my purse on my lap. Like I did not move. And yeah. But I helped Leah turn off her notifications.
Well, she did. And for all of you listening, thank you for joining us the last 2 weeks on this journey of getting concert tickets to someone you may enjoy or may know nothing about or care about. So we appreciate you being on this journey. But what we do want to say is happy birthday, Megan.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited.
Should we sing happy birthday?
No.
I think
we
do
not
should.
have to do that.
It's not going to be pretty.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. We're not the same like here anything. To you.
To you. Happy birthday, dear Megan.
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys.
And I really enjoyed that. Like, I was thinking about this the other day too, that I feel like my true form in life, which I didn't get to act out in my normal family, was being a middle child. And I really appreciate being a middle child on the podcast. And Megan, I really appreciate the youngest energy you bring to this podcast, and I appreciate the big sister energy that Amy brings.
Amy is
like, and Amy, I appreciate the oldest energy that you bring to this.
No, but she really is like a big sister. It fits.
Big sister as opposed to because you know how to do the cool shit that we need help with.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's fun for me because I've never had sisters.
Yeah.
I am a sister, but I don't really get to be a sister with my brother like I do with you guys. So this is really nice.
I'm a sister, but I don't have any sisters.
Right, like me. So we're your sisters.
Well, look, on the eve of my birthday, I am extremely excited to talk about the drama that we're talking about today. When we like planned the schedule out, this wasn't like planned to do, because this was like my pick. This was like a drama that I was like, I'm putting on the schedule, guys. You got to watch it. It's great. So I don't know. First of all, thank you for watching this, both of you. It meant a lot. So let's get into it.
It meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I know. So, we're talking today about Bad and Crazy, which is a comedy action thriller starring Dong-Wook and Ha-Joon, which originally aired on iQIYI in December of 2021. It has recently been made available on Netflix, at least Netflix US. I'm not sure about other countries. So, I'll read the description of the drama that was on Asian Wiki. Soo-yeol, played by Dong-Wook, works as a police officer for the Mui Police Department. He is competent at his job, but he also has questionable ethics. He will do anything to achieve success. Due to his ambitious personality, he has received promotions in a short period of time. His smooth life suddenly changes with the appearance of K. Yes, that's K, just capital letter K. Played by Ha-Joon. K is a righteous person, but also a crazy person. Whenever he faces injustice, he meets it with a fist, and he dreams of being a hero. So, in brief, Soo-yeol and K join forces as the bad and the crazy to solve a mystery and hopefully get a promotion. So let's just say this drama is a wild ride. Like, just, there's a lot going on. It'll keep you entertained. It's only 12 episodes, and it's packed full of fistfights, motorcycle rides, a bromance, and a romance. It is very hard to talk about this drama without spoilers, even if the spoilers kind of come out early. But we will still start with a few non-spoilery questions. So first of all, it's not news that we are all fans of Dong-Wook on this podcast. Like, we have talked about him for many episodes, many of his dramas. Ha-Joon, however, who has obviously been in less dramas, so he's still relatively new to us, appeared on the screen of Bad and Crazy with a bang. So what did you think of his performance?
All right. So I got introduced to Ha-Joon in Little Women, and I liked him in Little Women. Due to the nature of his character, it was a very subdued performance, and it was meant to be. But I didn't know what he had in him until Bad and Crazy. Like, I liked him in Little Women. I am shook with how much I love Kay. Like, ask Megan. I could not stop messaging her on Slack to profess my ever-growing love and like screen capping and just sending her all sorts of shit. And the only way to describe this character is he's a badass cinnamon roll with a smile that is literally brighter than the sun. I dare anyone to keep the smile off of their face when you see Kay grin. Like, it is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, like, props to who casted him. Because I don't know who else could do what he did with this role.
Right?
I loved him in Squid Game and Little
I didn't know
Women.
he was in Squid Game because I didn't see Squid Game.
Yeah, he was in Squid Game, but again, both characters were like a little subdued. He plays a cop in Squid Game. And I have seen him in real life interviews. And he's very charming, very quick to smile, quick-witted. He has an interview with Jesse. He was like in some sort of like prison fight club type drama, which I never saw. But he was on an interview with Jesse, the pop idol, or the K-pop idol. And he was so charming in that interview. And I was like, where are we going to get him in a role where he can like show that off? And like, that's Kay. That's Kay. You know, he's like a badass himbo with a big smile and like a strong fist and a massive heart. And he just nailed this character for me. He has this like cute, shy crush to these like bloody grins during fistfights. And then he's also like super emotional and sensitive. Like, he's really sensitive. Like, you can easily hurt his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. It just really showed me, like, I know he's been in other roles. I know, but he also hasn't had like a lot of like front and center roles. And this just going toe to toe with an actor like Dong-Wook, like they held their own like with each other. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, it was a really dynamic role, right? Like, he got to do everything. He got to play every emotion, and it was just so well done. Yeah,
he got to be mad, he got to be sad, he got to be like lovey-dovey, you know, like, you're right, he did. He got to do everything.
Yeah, and I think, like, I appreciate what you said about, like, what it takes to go toe-to-toe with Dong-Wook, because he's, like, awesome, and we love him. And so it reminded me a little bit of, like, how Strangers from Hell, I thought, like, MC1, like, was able to, like, show his stuff and have, like, a good foil to bounce off of. And so, yeah, I feel like Ha-Joon got to have, like, very different movies, but, you know, something fun to bounce off of. And it makes me also feel like, I think that Dong-Wook is, like, a generous actor, because I feel like he is like a team player in his roles. And so he's like creating he's not like hogging it all, right? He's like, he's
no, not at all.
Working better together. And we saw that even in like Tail the Nine-Tailed. So I thought that, yeah, it was fun to see Ha-Joon in this. Squid Game, man, he was just hot in Squid Game. And
he was.
And so, yeah, it was fun to see him hot here too. I will talk about the motorcycle. How I did not think I had a motorcycle thing, just like I didn't think I had other things. Apparently I have a motorcycle thing. After Love in the Air and now this, I'm like, apparently I like a riding suit. I did not know I did.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that throughout tonight, I am having kind of like adrenal fatigue. So I liked this drama, but I do want to preface it that like this last week, I've been very focused on getting tickets for this event. So I think I watched it, but not with like my whole heart. So I just was, and I mean, maybe it was the drama too for me. Like maybe I would have always felt like that. But in this case, I don't think I loved it as much as Amy and Megan, but I also didn't like dislike it So I don't want to like argue it because I'm not like, oh, I didn't like this or this. I think I was just more like not heart connected to it the way they were. So throughout this, I kind of want to like facilitate them having more joy, because even though it wasn't like my favorite drama, like I'm not coming for it either. So
yeah, you just weren't as enthusiastic as us.
Yeah,
that's okay.
No, I was like, it's fine. I'm not going to rewatch
Sometimes
it.
things just hit you in a certain way. And like, I was not prepared for this to hit me like it did.
And I'm still surprised it hit you the way it did. Because for me, I won't watch it again, but I will. I don't mind. Yeah, you were like, I'm going to watch it again. I'm like, really? I would never watch this again.
Yeah, I 100% will watch it again.
But I do want to just call out that Ha-Joon has a smile that is very hot, but is frankly alarming.
100%, because... So the whole point is, you know, Soo-yeol is kind of the bad. Like we'll talk more about it, but he starts out as like a bad, corrupt cop. Like he's actually a really shitty person. Like I didn't like him in like the first, which on purpose. Like I was like, but I love that. I like not liking a main character because then he's gonna like grow. It was the same with military prosecutor Doberman. An Bo-hyun played like a shitty dude, a shitty, corrupt prosecutor. But then you're gonna get like growth from it. So Soo-yeol, he's the bad of Bad and Crazy. And then Ha-Joon is the crazy. And he's just got this like Leah said, he's got this like smile that is hot, but sometimes it also just looks deranged. Like it's scary. Like it's like clown smile scary. You know what I mean?
It is.
So the bromance between Dong-Wook and K is pretty fantastic. I mean, I kind of would argue that Dong-Wook is the king of K-drama bromances, which is why I said, what's another favorite bromance of yours that's not Goblin? And I swear I wasn't calling out Amy. I swear. It's just I wanted to
You know what, though? I was like, fine. I'm going to take one that I bet you want, Megan, and I'm going to take it right from under you.
I know. I was like, Amy's gonna take this as a personal attack, and it
was just funny because I'm like, well, the first one that comes to mind, I bet is the one that Megan's gonna want, and she's not gonna get it. So there.
It's okay.
So mine was Woo-do Hwan and Woo-do Hwan in The King Eternal Monarch. Some might say that his character Jo Young and Lee Min-ho's character Egon have a good bromance, and they do, but nothing beats the bromance he has with himself as doppelgangers Jo Young and Jo In-sub. I have never experienced something like this where I fully believed that he was two different people, even though I know watching it the entire time that it's, Woo-do Hwan doing both of them. And like the way that I have to imagine that whoever was, standing in for, his doppelganger self and reading lines with him had to have been doing a good job for him to be able to react the way that he did, because it was so, so good and so funny.
I agree. I'm glad you mentioned it, because if you didn't, I was going to, but it's like, I have more. I really loved An Hyo-sep's and Kim Min-kyu's bromance in Business Proposal. I just love that they were childhood best friends. They were really supportive of each other. They had great banter. It was kind of cute when like An Hyo-sep like breaks his arm and Kim Min-kyu's like helping him like put on his like hospital gown, but they do it in a way that's like romantic, and the nurse walks in and they're all like, no, you misunderstood us. I don't know. I know it's a gay panic scene, but it was just cute. I like them.
And not to call you out, Amy, but I feel like to beat a dead horse, like Amy often is dropping in a goblin. I feel like now lately I'm doing that with Mr. Sunshine.
Mr. Sunshine. I knew what you were going to do too.
But I mean, come on, you're talking about bromance, and it's like the freaking best bromance in my eyes. So that's the bromance between Eugene, Dongmei, and Isong, who've been brought together from various walks of life for one goal of protecting the same woman that they all love. So they're all rivals. They all should hate each other. They kind of do hate each other, but they end up like weirdly clicking and having like begrudging respect for each other. And it made a very somber drama really delightful.
Yeah. Okay, so this drama is full of fight scenes in weird places with interesting props. Like, I honestly want to know how they, like, sat down to decide these. I feel like they were like, let's just roll a dice. You know how you can, like roll a few dice? So it was like, we're going to be in a warehouse with an iron pipe at dawn or something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they rolled some dice on these fight scenes. So, yeah, without spoilers, what's one of your favorites?
The scene at the big box store, like, like the Target or Walmart type store, the fight scene there, there's tennis rackets, I think a laundry basket, and an extension cord.
Like, what? And when Dong-Wook and Kay fight together, it's just hysterical. Like, I'm like, what is happening? I liked the oil barrel fight because it was so ludicrous. So ludicrous. So it's like it's Kay against like 12 dudes, okay? And of course they come at him one at a time, not all at once, because, he has to fight them all. And so he spills this, I think it's oil, this like barrel of oil. And so they're like fighting in this like slippery oil. I mean, I can't imagine what choreographing that was like and acting that was like, because it would be so slippery. Like, I just can't. The whole thing was crazy. And that was like kind of early on too. I think it was like in episode 1.
Yeah, it is. It's episode 1, I think.
I was like, this is my cue that this is just going to be a crazy like action drama, which I like.
So I just want to ask a question. And this is like, I mean, I forget because I mean, like there's like action, but action can align itself to slapstick, which Amy likes a lot. And look, every once in a while, apparently I like slapstick too and confuse Megan. But I just wanted to ask, how many times was Dong-Wook body slammed in the making of this drama?
Oh my God. Oh, every single episode he was beat to shit. Every episode. And like, look, Dong-Wook's beautiful. Like we all know that. And I guess that's one thing I love about him is he's never afraid to like not look beautiful. Like there were some scenes where he legitimately looked like death. Like they didn't make him like a pretty beat up person. He had like dark circles under his eyes. He looked absolutely shitty.
Yeah. And then I will also, actually, I want to say one other thing with this is the other thing that was really nice. And I like brought this up, I think maybe briefly to Amy. I feel like it was Amy, but maybe I don't know who I was talking to about this. Maybe it was myself in the dark of night is and I say this as a compliment, like he looks his age a bit in this versus like other times I've seen him. And I mean that in a very hot way. Like I feel as if, we're getting to see a little bit more of that like mature kind of seasoned vibe entering his like aesthetics. And look, that little bit of spice there is really delightful to see. And so it kind of just felt like, I also just appreciated that he looked a little bit more, like he was in his 40s basically, because he is. And you can be hot in your 40s, as you will learn tomorrow.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like they put like a blurring effect on his face. At all. Like, I'm not saying that all K-dramas do that but I mean, all media does that in every country. So that's just like a common thing. They didn't like blur his face. They did, or, give him the blurred effect to like make him look less wrinkled. He did. He like looked his age, and he is an older man in this. Like he wasn't, that was like part of it too, is he's like, oh my God, I'm like older. I want a promotion where he wants
a cushy desk job. Yeah.
Like this isn't what he wants to do. Yeah. He wants like a cushy desk job. He wants to be promoted. Like that's literally kind of one of the points. I mean, he already is a detective and he's like really well respected, but I think he is tired of getting beat up.
Yeah. And then I did appreciate, like, I always like a fish thing for some reason. So I liked when like the dude was like getting dunked in the fish tank. And like the fish is like flopping around on the floor. I don't know. It's just funny. But like I said, I was like kind of like vaguely like, oh, that's funny. Oh.
Yeah, it is. It's a funny drop. Like it's hilarious.
Even though that was like a big like, villain scene.
Oh my God, I don't know if it's slap.
No, not really.
The fish thing was villains and villains.
Yeah. But I mean, like it was like funny.
Also, I feel like we got like a beat up in a sauna. Like,
yes.
Dong-Wook
anytime there's a towel, I mean, yes. That was like, I actually thought one of you were going to take that. So I didn't mention like the towel.
I mean, I loved it. That's in the first episode, so you don't really understand what's going on yet. You're just like, oh my God, why is he getting beat to shit in the sauna? But it's
complain
so
to the
funny
sauna. Like, I should like
complain.
You should have better regulations. Like,
yeah. They're like, what the fuck? They're like, why did you let some guy in to beat me up? And they're like, sir, no one came in. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, this place is terrible.
I'm gonna give you a bad Yelp review.
This is an awful service. It's so funny. He's so outraged so many times. Like, that's what I'm saying. He's
kind of a Karen.
When
Very much a Karen. Yes.
I was a total Karen.
That's one of the things I liked about this. It was something that I was talking on Instagram with Sarah from K-Drama This. We were talking about the drama. And she's like, the posters for it, like the ads for it, make it look like he's this big badass. But then he's like this like sniveling a-hole for a lot of it, which I thought was awesome because he had some good growth.
He is. Yeah, he had great growth. So any comps for Bad and Crazy?
I don't think there's anything exactly like this, but I think a really good sort of, buddy cop, I guess, comp, I would say is Midnight Runners, which is a movie, not a drama, with Park Seo-joon and Kang Ha-neul. Like good bromance, good action, lots of fighting and solving crime.
Yeah, I would say, I think Bad and Crazy was pretty unique of action comedy and just like overall this like over the top plot. And just like, I don't know, so much about it just felt unique to me. But I would say a comp is Lawless Lawyer just because kind of like similar fight scenes, similar characters, maybe along those lines.
Better villain in Lawless Lawyer.
Yeah.
And look, I feel bad. Maybe I shouldn't have even said it as my comp because we are not in the spoiler section, but I put Fight Club.
No, I'm editing that out.
No.
Really?
Well, it's a good comp.
It is a good comp.
It's a good comp.
We'll get to why.
Come on. It's not like a big mystery.
Okay, and before we move into the spoiler section, because that's the...
Which you already kind of did.
Yeah, but that's the fun part. We have our K-pop rec of the week. And in honor of the news we announced at the beginning of the episode, today we have Leah for our rec.
Why, thank you very much. So today I'm going to rec a song that is not new from the Augusty playlist, but it is one that I find I am looking forward to seeing this song live a lot. And that is from his first mixtape, and it is Tony Montana, which is such a fun song. And if I can like put it out to the universe, because manifesting's been working real fucking good for me lately, I would like Jimin to come to the shows to perform because he's got his new album. Dude, get your moment before you go to the army. And I want to hear the collab because they have done Tony Montana together. It is Suga Song alone, and he does it with a rapper Yankee on his mixtape. But he has, when they released Proof, they had a bonus track of content, and they did put the Jimin and Yoongi Tony Montana collab in it. It has a special place in my heart simply because Jimin didn't really want to do it at first necessarily. He didn't really feel like it was like his wheelhouse.
And he was so good.
He was so good. And I just enjoyed, their voices sound great together, but I just love it in general. And one of the things I love about Yoongi's rapping in general is that he sometimes sounds like he might almost be like a K. Like he's just on the edge of sanity sometimes sounding when he's rapping. Like his voice will start to like crack and like lose it a little bit. Yeah. He goes really, really fast. And it just feels like he's kind of like hanging on to like the shred of his like sanity.
I love that.
And I really appreciate that energy. And then I've also had people say like, how do you listen to rap from like a language that you don't know? And I'm like, well, actually it's not that hard because it sounds good and that's great. And then I can I know how to read. So I can also like read the lyrics. And so I know what they're talking about. So even if I'm not like understanding exactly every single word all the time, I know what every rap is that he does. I know like the story that he's telling. And then there's like the energy and the musicality behind it too.
I was going to say, it's the way they rap and it's the music behind it. A lot of times you can tell the emotion of songs and get it without even knowing the lyrics. It's not everything.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, how do you think the rest of the world has interacted with, like, U.S. music forever? Like,
right.
There is, like, a sense that, like, some of the sound and, like, whatever is universal, but you can't tell me that, like, everyone knew, like, every Madonna word that came out of her mouth, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just like, that's just, like, a weird... But anyway, Tony Montana, Augusty, check it out. And you can listen to it, like, as the mixtape, or I really do recommend looking it up on YouTube, where it is the collab with him and Jimin, because it is just complete fire.
Agree.
If you enjoy our podcast, you have our patrons to thank, at least in part. Afternoona Delight Patreon allows us to keep creating content for y'all to enjoy. Thank you so much to everyone who is supporting us there. And not to brag, but our Patreon community is pretty awesome, and you can join at a tier that feels good to you. Gain access to fun perks like K-drama posts, monthly Patreon-only bonus podcasts, and even a live K-drama support group on Zoom. Because we know firsthand what it's like to have no one to talk to about those crazy plot twists, amazing characters, and all those feelings. And look, no one should have to walk that walk alone. So learn more by visiting afternoonadelight.com. That's www.afternoonadelight.com. And hey, while you're on the website, you can check out Afternoona Delight podcast merch, find links to book recommendations, Bop along to our K-pop Rex, glow up your skin with K Merch Rex. Find all of our social media and a link to our email so you can send us recommendations or feedback. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you pop over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review? It really helps with our discoverability. 감사합니다.
So what kinds of things do you both like to do when you drive?
Pay attention to the road? Is this a trick question?
All right, how about when you fold laundry?
Why am I folding laundry in this scenario?
Read, friends. I was trying to get you to say read.
You could just ask us if we like to read when we drive, or... Wait, how are you reading when you're driving?
With Audible. You know, our sponsor, who is the leading creator and provider of premium audio storytelling, enriching the lives of millions of listeners every day. I listen to audiobooks on my commute to work, in the car.
Oh yeah, I totally do that. I love my Audible subscription.
Then why'd you leave me hanging with the whole driving thing? Forget it. It's not important. What is important is that now our listeners can get a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus from Afternoona Delight. Do you know what they get with that free trial?
Actually, I do. They get 1 audiobook credit, 2 if they are Prime members, which is good for any premium selection, and they get to keep that audiobook.
They also get the whole Audible Plus catalog of podcasts like Afternoona Delight, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals.
And with the Plus catalog, you can listen all you want, no credits needed.
And Audible sends you a reminder email before your trial ends.
Sounds like a great way to spend 30 days to me, especially if you're heading outside for a walk, have a long commute to work, or just want to hear one of many talented narrators really bring your book to life. All you have to do is go to www.audibletrial.com/afternoona to sign up, and you're ready to download your first listen. Enjoy!
Okay, so I know that was a short non-spoiler section, but I, as in the birthday girl, I'm writing the script, and I love this drama, and I wanted to get to the meat of the story quickly. So here we go. Okay, so, about K. One of the main plot points of this drama that is revealed very early, as in like the end of episode 1, is that K is actually one of Soo-yeol's personalities that he formed as a child to protect himself from his abusive father. And K only recently returned to kind of Soo-yeol's psyche to once again protect Soo-yeol and remind him that deep down, he wants to be a hero and not a corrupt cop. So what did you think of how the drama handled this from a mental health standpoint?
So first, I want to say that I loved it, but for a hot minute, I was worried that it was not going to be revealed early on, even though it was like painfully obvious that Kay was part of Soo-yeol. Like I was messaging Megan like in the middle of episode 1. I'm like, so this is Fight Club, right? Like, so it's Tyler
yeah,
Durden,
you're like, this is
right?
Fight Club. I'm like, yeah.
You're like, just get to episode 2. But I'm like, so I was worried that they were going to try and stretch it out and so I was really happy that he came to terms with it like right away. That it wasn't like, we didn't carry on with him thinking that Kay was somebody outside of himself. I would have been disappointed if the writers thought that the viewers wouldn't figure it out until the end. So I liked the twist from the way that like in Fight Club, like the way other writers have tackled this sort of trope, and that we had the sort of dramatic irony of knowing, of the viewer knowing while no one else other than Soo-yeol knows, who Kay is. And so we get to watch Soo-yeol come to terms with Kay's existence and understanding why Kay is back. And I was worried that like dissociative identity disorder playing a role, like in order to show that a therapist was a corrupt murderer, was going to be kind of iffy as far as, supporting mental health. But we had a second therapist who actually does help Soo-yeol balance us out, even if the guy is first portrayed as being, sort of a fraud, which he's not, because he actually does help Soo-yeol. So overall, I liked that Soo-yeol didn't deny Kay at the end, but I also hope that he is continuing therapy for his childhood trauma, because just because he realized that he dissociated and, and made this second sort of, personality to protect himself, doesn't mean that he's, not still dealing with that trauma. So I hope he's still in therapy.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a good writing choice that the reveal was done early, because the point of the drama wasn't that he had this other personality, but it's why he had formed this identity. And I guess part of why I liked it too is he was friends with his identity. Like, I guess I liked it that they didn't like demonize another personality. They were like, look, this guy...
Because it's all him.
It's all him, and this is how he dealt with trauma. And you know what? His other personality was amazing. And I just, like...
And I love him.
And I love him, too.
And I want him to be real.
Yeah. Because there's basically the mystery then... Well, there's several mysteries. There's, like, a drug kind of, like, who's dealing bad drugs plot line in the back. There's a lot of, like, kind of interwoven. But one of the mysteries is who killed Soo-yeol's abusive father. You know, he doesn't remember. He had like blocked it out, and he was just a child wandering the streets, and some mom and her son decided to just like adopt him out of nowhere.
As one does. But you know what? They did,
as expected.
They did go to the police like the day after. They did. There was some police contact and stuff like that, but she did just take him in that night. Like, he shows up like bloody and in a daze.
Yeah, and she basically,
she's like, come sleep over.
Yeah, and she's just like, look, and like never... You know, they never, like, talked about it. But, yeah, so, like, who killed Soo-yeol's abusive father? Was it him? Was it him but as K? Or was it someone else? So gaslighting was a big theme of this drama, since the baddie therapist was gaslighting Soo-yeol into believing that K might have killed his father. And I know this sounds weird, but it's like he had come to, like, trust K.
It worked.
Yeah, and it was worked. Like, so...
I felt gaslit.
Yeah, because he's like best friends with Kay and he had come to trust Kay. So then to think that Kay wasn't a hero after all and had killed his father and also Kay himself was devastated that he could have done this, because Kay is a cinnamon roll who just wants to protect. Like, yes, he beats the shit out of a million people in this drama, but he doesn't.
But they're all bad.
But they're bad, and he doesn't kill them. No. Kay doesn't kill. Kay protects. So he fights to protect. And so, yeah, it was like, I mean, Kay was like this, like, personality born from a childhood drama. And so in a way, he was almost like childlike. Like, he wanted to be a superhero, essentially. It was like a grown man wanting to be a superhero. And yeah, Soo-yeol was like his most important person. So he wanted to protect him. And then in the end, we learned that the baddie therapist also had an abusive father, and as a teen had tried to manipulate teen Soo-yeol into a pact to kind of kill each other's fathers. It's convoluted. And so if you haven't seen it yet and you're still listening, just trust us on it. It actually does make sense.
It does.
And
it does.
It was done well. Yeah, because it's like Fight Club. I mean, I'm sorry we're spoiling Fight Club. Okay, that movie's like 30 years old. But
I'm not sorry. It's the whole...
I mean, come on. Everyone knows.
Titanic. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I do really like Chuck Palahniuk, by the way. He's a very good author. He writes really weird stuff, obviously, because Fight Club was weird. But yeah, I mean, at the end, that's when you know he has a double personality, but also his, like, personality is a terrible dude. His personality is like an anarchist. Like, whereas
right.
I loved it in, like, true K-drama fashion. His other personality is like this sweet cinnamon roll, I just want to be a hero.
He's basically like Soo-yeol's conscience that he's kind of, like buried. It's protecting himself. Like, he wants a cushy job. He wants to make good money. He wants to not worry. And he doesn't remember this trauma because he put that all on Kay. Mm-hmm. And so Kay comes back to remind him, like, you are a good dude. We are a good dude. And we need to figure this all out.
Yeah, like, Kay beats the crap out of him. Because he's like, you're being...
In the sauna. Which, I want to know, what's really happening there?
Can you imagine
like, because he was bruised.
Yeah. Like, it's like in Fight Club where they, at the very end, where they show that he was like beating himself.
Beating the shit out of himself, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love that Kay showed up. And he, like, beat the shit out of him. And he's like, no, you're going to save lives. Because that's what he does. He makes him go save... Which I actually forgot to talk about our precious cop who gets beat up a lot. He makes him, like, go save him. He's like, this is who we are. We jump into burning buildings.
And then we jump out
we jump out a window to save someone's life. That is who you are. That is who you're going to be.
So I think the only thing I want to add to it is I just even blocked the name out of the drama. Love is for Suckers.
Yeah.
where we said that like mental health felt like it was used as kind of like a doorstop for different
it was a plot moppet.
yeah it really was a plot moppet. And here I felt like, look, it was handled better, I think, and more interesting. I would have liked more even.
Mm-hmm.
And then just because you both liked it so much, I'm curious that because it was written by the same person who did the Uncanny Counter, which I haven't wanted to see at all. But I'm wondering if you both might really like the Uncanny Counter because that's the same writer.
Oh,
I did want to see that one.
I did want to see that actually.
Yeah, and I had zero.
Sarah.
Yeah, I didn't want to see it at all. So this could be a good journey for the two of you.
Yeah, I would totally watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering actually what else this writer did because I just liked how it was written. Like point blank, I liked how the plot was put together. There were several external plots that you're like, what is this like drug?
And it connected. Yeah.
And it did. It all connected.
Yeah.
In a short drama.
Yeah. And look, I liked it better than Lawless Lawyer. Although, look, no one's going to beat the villain from Lawless Lawyer for me. Yeah, there's no Ano Ju.
No.
But I didn't like it very much better than Lawless Lawyer. Like, if I had to rank it, I'd probably put them side by side with this just above that.
That's fair. Honestly, when Amy and I were done watching it, we're like, this could go either way with Leah.
For Leah. Yeah. I'm like,
either way.
And I know that you were preoccupied with the sugar stuff this past week, but like in Slack, I'm like, wait, Leah, did you even watch it? Because you've had like zero reaction. Whereas, I mean, my reaction to Megan was totally private because I didn't want to spoil anything for Leah. So I was messaging her privately, but it was like daily.
Yeah, no, I knew it was, and I didn't want to be an a-hole about it because, like, look,
it's okay.
But I really want to know how you feel about it.
Yeah,
you know?
I know, and I mean, like, but I didn't. The problem is, I just didn't really have any feeling. That was like my thing. Is like I was like, look, it's not working, and this is why. What's happening? I would have like couched it maybe nicer because I've watched Subak and learned how to talk about things I don't like with Megan. But in this, I was just kind of like, if I wasn't watching it for the pod, I would have stopped watching it.
Yeah, and that's fair. Again,
it's not for everybody.
Didn't know, like, knowing you, this could have gone either way. It could have hit you emotionally. I thought it was a possibility, but I also thought there was a possibility you wouldn't, like, love it. I did think Amy would like it. I was pretty convinced. Amy liked it more than I expected her to like it, though, which is great, because she liked it on, like, my level.
Yeah. So here's the thing, too, that's funny, is that, like, a funny thing happens right away where I liked it, and then I was like, it's a weird thing, because I liked it, and then I was like, and I know I'm not going to really love the movie, or the drama.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
okay.
It's the scene where, at the very beginning, when he's like, who, like, effed up my car? And he, like, goes to, like, the CCTV people, like, you know, I'm paying good money for this, like, car thing. I mean, it's, like, in the first, like, 25 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they, like, play the video, and it's just him fucking railing on the car, like, jumping up and down. I'm like, that's pretty funny. And I feel like I got, like, the sum total of what this drama is going to be, and I'm good now. Like, I'm ready to bounce out.
Oh, okay. But you hadn't met Kay yet, and that was when, you know, I got to meet Kay.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
It's just... I don't love, I mean, I like,
it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to qualify.
Yeah. Like,
it's fine. You like it right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also feel very joyful and full of what I like. And so I also don't want to come for the things you like right now because I'm just not in that headspace today. I just want us all to love what we love, and it's okay.
It is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This isn't the type of drama. It's not like Goblin, where if you don't like Goblin, it hurts me, you know? Like, it's
or like My
right.
Mister for a lot of people, where people are like, I feel very pain. Like,
yeah, I definitely offended people.
Oh yeah, you definitely did. I even did, and I was like, I was the one that liked it, and I just didn't like it enough.
Yeah, but, sorry, everyone.
We have had this actually in the Patreon, where we were like, recommend us some things that you think us as a person, like a drama for Megan, a drama for Amy, a drama for Leah, just because, you know, we do have different tastes. And somebody was like, I really want you all to do My Liberation Notes. It's just that I feel like if you don't like it, it's going to hurt me. And I was like, you know what?
Don't.
Megan,
I'm not going to do it.
Needs to like stay. Just like I shouldn't watch The Uncanny Counter, Megan shouldn't watch My Liberation Notes. But
I'm sorry, guys.
I should. I think I would like it.
I think you would like it. I trust me, guys. It's not for me.
Yeah, I don't think Amy's going to like that one.
I don't think I would.
So I think I can do it, and I can find someone else to do it with, and that's fine. And sometimes we have to do that. And so, I mean, not that we have to like everything we watch too, but like the ones that are really special for people,
Right.
You know,
I don't want to yuck anybody else's yum, but I'm also not going to lie if I watch something and it doesn't work for me.
Like, we did My Mister, and I will be honest, I didn't enjoy that podcast. No, I'm saying I did not enjoy. It's not fun for me.
No, it's not fun to not like
it's
something.
fun. It's fun to cover things like where
Sound of Magic. That was fun.
That was fun to cover. We didn't like it, but there were still like things that were like funny and we could talk about it. My Mister was not fun for me to cover because I felt like an asshole. And I also knew people were going to be upset with me. And I felt like a shithead. Like, and I know, cause I shit on that drama. Like, I did. But, I still feel bad about it. Like, that is one episode I'll, like, not listen to again, because I still do feel bad about it. So I'm just saying, if you guys are really mad at me about it, just know that I felt bad, okay? But that's what I'm saying. I think that was a lesson to me, though. I don't think it's a good idea for me to watch something that, like, actively... I thought I would like My Mister, though, so... But now I know my taste a little bit better, and I don't want to do that again. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun for me to, like, crap on on a drama that meant a lot to people. So, anyway, let's get back to Kay.
I love Kay.
So, yeah, we love Kay. Kay is hilarious. He's a badass with a gooey marshmallow center. So what's your favorite funny or sweet Kay moment?
So the one that I love so much is hard to describe. So I'm gonna, in the show notes, I'm gonna share the scene because it's on YouTube. Because there's so many, but I want to talk about the one that I had to literally, because I was watching it on my laptop and Netflix doesn't let you screen record because they have privacy issues. I mean, come on. So I screen recorded it with my phone from my laptop just because I had to be like Megan this scene. So for a short time in the middle of the drama, Soo-yeol kind of banishes Kay from his mind. Like, he thinks Kay is causing more trouble and he wants to solve the Min-soo case, which is how this all started. There was another detective that was killed on the job, and Soo-yeol wants to prove that it wasn't the criminal who killed him, but it was actually another cop who was on the scene who he now suspects is dirty. So he just wants to deal with this by himself. But he realizes he can't do it. He can't figure this out without the part of him that is Kay. And when he invites Kay back to help, he's in the abandoned building where Min-soo died. And Soo-yeol tells Kay that he cannot ask for anyone else's help other than Kay's, that they need to do this together, like as a team. And Kay just sort of loses it. Like, he does this adorable, bashful smile. Like, he brings his hands to his mouth and, like, you know, shrugs his shoulders and, like, turns away. And he's like, you know, this sort of like, aw shucks, like, me, you need me. And it's like it's the epitome of adorable cinnamon roll. And like I said, I will share a link to a GIF or to like the scene from YouTube in the show notes, because what I'm saying right now is not doing it justice. But if you know, you know. And I melted.
He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he's very sensitive. And it's just hilarious because he shows up on the screen in the first episode and he's just like beating the shit out of Soo-yeol.
And you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, at that point, you're not sure yet. Like, you figure it out, yes, through the first episode, but you're also still not sure. Like, at least for me.
Well, in the very, very beginning, that he thinks he's dreaming, right? It's like, they're like MMA fighting, and he thinks he's dreaming. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So you don't know, and you don't know if he's, like, bad or whatever. So, okay, so first, shout out to Kay's, like, styling. So first he showed up in this, like, distinctive motorcycle jacket and helmet, which that's what, like, I would say, like, that's what's on all the promo posters and
stuff. The red jacket.
And, yeah, it's just very distinctive. And I thought he'd wear it the whole drama. I mean, I didn't know, especially when you find out he's, like, another personality. Like, is he just going to wear the same thing? But then he started showing up in different clothes, which, that's so funny to me that he has a wardrobe. His personality has a wardrobe. And the fact that his wardrobe was, like, these, like, loud, bold prints and like bright colors, and it was like he was had these like Hawaiian type style like button down shirts, and it was so like, why are you? And it just like, first of all, it just made sense. That's what Kay would wear. That is what Kay would wear. And so but it was never like brought up. Like, no one, like, it's not like Soo-yeol was like, I don't think he ever, like, I don't remember, ever commented on the clothes. So I guess that's, like, the funniest part is they, like, put it in there and it just added to, like, the whole K personality. Right. You know what I mean? And so I loved every scene where he got to show his crush on Soo-yeol's ex, fellow cop Lee Hee-gyum, played by Han Ji-eun.
So funny.
I love it. And see, this is what's so cool about, like, the other personality, okay? Because Soo-yeol was like, no, like, that relationship is over. But, like, his cinnamon roll personality, his, like, true self, his, like, hero self, was still completely in love with her.
But, like, bashfully so, which was hilarious.
Bashfully so. And one of the reasons he tolerated him at the beginning for a while was Kay was like, I'll go away if you help clear Hee-gyum's name. Because she was, like, convoluted part of the plot, but she was, like, accused of something. But he, like, loves her. So he wanted to save her. And so I love that too, because the Soo-yeol's like, fine, I'm only doing this because, like, I can get rid of you. But then, of course, he does care about her too. So he basically, like, Kay, like, love bombs her because he doesn't, like, know any better. He's, like, kind of a child. He really is. He's like a teenager. He just doesn't get it. So there's a funny scene where he was, like, outside her apartment texting her and she saw him. But of course, he's not real. So she saw, like, Soo-yeol out there and they're, like, working on a case together. So she's like, what the heck? So she called him, but he doesn't want to, like, talk to her because he's Kay and he's all bashful. So every time she would ask him a question, he'd, like, text her back.
While he's on the phone with
she's
her.
like, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you
that is amazing. That was actually amazing.
Yeah. And she's like, why are you being so weird? And it was just so funny. And every time, the best part was you never knew he was doing this stuff because a lot of times he'd, like, wake up in the middle of the night as, you know, Soo-yeol, and then he'd, like, do stuff as Kay. And that's often when he would do stuff for her. And so Soo-yeol didn't, like, know about it. And then Hee-gyum would all of a sudden be like, thanks for the flowers. And they'd, like, show her apartment, and it's, like, filled with dozens of...
But this is, like, the Fight Club stuff, where later you realize that, like, Helena Bonham Carter's character is, like, what the fuck? Like, you see back, and you start to realize, like, how the alternate personality would show up and just, like, bone the shit out of her and have, like, a crazy fun night. And then the next day, like, not talk to her at all. And she's like, what is happening?
Yes! Except Kay was never like...
No, he wasn't, like, a nasty, like, coming... But, I mean, she liked it. Like, that was good for her.
Yeah! And then when she was, like, in jail for a short amount of time, she had been, like, arrested, and he sent her, like, dozens of letters, like, every single day. And she's like, and she was, like, confused for a while because she's like, you're sending me mixed signals. And Soo-yeol's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, the letters. And she's like, stack of letters. And it was so funny because Soo-yeol would get so mad at Kay, and Kay was like, you better treat her right. And there was even the scene where he finds out that, so Soo-yeol does, like, kiss her, which of course, it's Dong-Wook, of that, like, that's it was a pretty sexy kiss, too. And I think sleeps with her. Like, I do think they allude to that. But anyway, he doesn't want to tell Kay. And when Kay finds out, he is so mad. He is, and it's funny, too, because it's like, but you're the same person. I don't know. I loved it.
This is where I wish the show had done, like, I could have almost watched, like, if there were other like, I liked it with the two of them, but I actually could have done almost like a Yumi Cell. Not that many, but, like, that was something that worked for me with Yumi Cells, was that, like, you had, like, all these parts of personality that you would go into. And so in some ways I could have almost done with, like, having, I mean, it is fun to have it be that your romantic competition, your, like, second lead competition is you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that's fun. And I felt like I could have, it's a whole different drama. I was just less interested in, like, the crime mystery solving shit and more interested in, like, what does it mean to be, like, many different people, but we all, like, love the one person, but we all are the same person too. I mean, like, I would watch a whole drama on just that.
And that was my favorite part of it too. Like, the Kay and Soo-yeol stuff was my favorite part. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care about the crimey stuff. It's just like how what's my toe-socked lovers? Ano Jews. You know, like, I didn't give a shit about the law stuff.
About his land deals.
Land deals.
Fucking land deals.
Who gave a shit?
At least this was drugs and murder, not land deals.
Yeah. Wait, do you want to talk about Kay's motorcycle wear, Leah?
I do, because this has been a newer kink of mine. circa 2023. Like, I have never ridden on a motorcycle. I have never, you know, and I mean, like, I know there's a lot of people think motorcycle stuff is sexy. Megan, you yourself really got into the Kristen Ashley series, and they're all motorcycle dudes.
Yeah. I read motorcycle books a
lot. Sons of Anarchy is popular, blah, blah, blah. It's never been a thing that gets me. My own motor does not rev like a motorcycle's. However, when I saw Love in the Air, and it's with underground motorcycle racing. And here's the thing. I don't even think it's the motorcycles. It's the motorcycle wear when you're in like the suit. It's just hot. So Love in the Air like kind of like fluffed me for it. And then Kay kind of brought it home just in like the red leathery, you know, it looks fucking good.
It's hot.
80% of my enjoyment of this drama was because I liked how he looked in his motorcycle uniform.
Yeah, fair. When he would take his helmet off and he'd be like all sweaty, and his hair would be sticking up and he'd smile all crazy. I was like,
that's
the crazy smile was just the best.
Yeah.
Wait, how old is he? Like, how bad are we?
He's 31.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he actually, I looked up, he did his military enlistment, like, at, like, 20. Like, he did it really early. Like, before he started his career, basically. Okay. Same as, Yoo Sung-ho. He did the same thing.
Okay, cool. They would actually be a great pair. Oh, they need to do something together.
I think Ha-Joon and Huda Wan would also be amazing together.
Let's, like, I think the three of them.
Be Still My Heart. It's like brothers.
Oh my God.
I would watch that.
Yes.
So there are several bad guys in this drama, but one is a faction of drug dealers led by Boss Young, played by Kim Hyora, and her second in command, Andre, played by Won Hyun-jun. Were they terrible people? Yes. Were you still sort of rooting for Boss Young to avenge Andre's brutal death? And do you think they were secretly banging?
So I don't know. There was some tension there, but like really, I loved her a lot. Like I loved Boss Young in her suits, always sucking on a lollipop. And you know what? Her vampire vengeance at the end was fucking amazing. Like I actually cheered.
I like how she was always holding an English language book. Like she was trying to learn English, and she would always like pepper in English in her conversations. I thought she was a really fun villain. I mean, was she my favorite villain? No. But I liked her. Her fight with Hee-gyum was very cool. I really liked that. That was a really good fight. And I totally believe that her and Andre had some sort of like unfulfilled love for each other. Cause like she knew that like her business, like she was done for. Like she knew that she could no longer, her drug empire had collapsed and all she cared about was avenging Andre. And I was like, hell yeah. You know, I always love a villain that has like a weakness like that. And I feel like Andre was her weakness. So I started this drama expecting a fun ride, and I got it. I totally did. I had a great time. And then I was attacked emotionally toward the end. So what was a scene that hit you with feels that you really weren't expecting?
I mean, it's the same one for both of us, right? Like,
yes.
So I kept messaging you saying, I know that I'm going to be a mess at the end of this drama because Kay is going to have to leave, right? Like for Suyol to heal, Kay is going to have to leave. And I'm like, I know that Kay is not real, but Kay is real to me. And I know that I'm going to have a hard time. And that still did not prepare me for how they were going to do it.
I know.
I mean, they're saying goodbye in the hallway of like the hotel or whatever of Suyol's mind, right? Like,
right. Yeah, it's like a hotel of his mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Because everything's like, you know, behind each door is like a memory and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Kay is like, no, this is how it has to go. Of course I need to go. You're good now. I'm just going to take, it's good. I'm going to go. I'm going to take off. Don't get emotional. Like he's being all cool, macho man. Yeah. And he walks out the door into the stairwell, and I'm already crying because Suyol's like doesn't want him to go. Right? He's like, I know this has to happen, but
they
like,
hug,
he
don't they? Don't they hug?
They do hug. They hug.
Yeah.
And then it's totally, it's like any sort of goodbye scene with real people where they say goodbye and then they run back to each other, and Suyol runs into the stairwell.
That's so great.
And Kay is crouched down on the floor, shoving his fist in his mouth to keep from making noise, crying so hard he's drooling. I mean, I know it's meant to kind of be funny, but I was sobbing.
Me too. I was like, he was like blubber. It was just such a K moment. And I think that's why I loved it so much. K, I think, was trying to play it cool to not upset Soo-yeol. And then, yeah, I was just trying to play it cool, but like K's not like that. Like K is sensitive and he didn't want to go and he like loves Soo-yeol. And the fact that he's like finds him crying in the stairwell and then they can like cry together or like emote together. It was like, just such a wonderful choice to give that character. I just love, oh my God. I know. I cried. I could not believe it. I was so shocked. And I think I missed it.
And it wasn't like just like my eyes were wet. Like I was.
No, I was crying.
Crying.
Yeah. I was crying pretty hard. And I messaged you guys and I was like, I'm crying. And and both of you were like, over bad and crazy.
Yes.
I was like, look, no one is as surprised as me. I did not.
I got it like midway through because I'm like, I know Kay is going to have to go and it's going to break me.
I was trying not to like think about that. I think I really was. I was like, I think I was so focused on like what was going on. I wasn't thinking about how it was going to end, but
it didn't help. Like I still,
but I mean, I still
broke down.
I did too. But everything about how the drama wrapped up, I thought was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I mean, it was pretty cute. And I just like it that, like, when somebody's really hot and has played some serious roles, this is where, again, like, I felt like putting them with Lee Dong-Wook is really good in that, like, there's a sense of, like, not having so much ego and you can just kind of be a little silly and have fun with it. Because, like, in Squid Game, he's, like, this badass cop. I mean, he's not, like, toxic. He's just more, like, on the case and good looking. And so to see somebody just be completely ridiculous... Like, I don't know. It's nice when you see somebody just be like, it's fine. Like, I'll have boogers coming out my nose. Like,
he was just in his emotions all the time.
Yeah. Well, he was like the id, right? Like, that was basically his role.
Yeah.
An id with a conscience.
Yeah. So anything else you want to get off your chest about Bad and Crazy?
I kind of already brought it up that I loved that, you know, when I was talking to Sarah and talking about the fact that Lee Dong-Wook basically, you know, wasn't the center stage, like, badass in the start. And it was Kay who was. And we got to see we got to see Soo-yeol grow into the part of him that was Kay. And I loved that. But I think the biggest thing that I want to say is, like, a huge thank you to you, Megan, for putting this on the list. Because I wanted to watch it, right? Because I was missing Lee Dong-Wook. And then I saw Ha-Joon in Little Women and I liked him. I'm like, oh, this looks like it would be fun. But it wasn't like high up on my list because we have so many other dramas we want to watch. And this is one of those that you're just like, I'm just going to watch it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to check it out. Now that it's on
And then
Netflix.
You're like, it's so good. I want us to watch it. And I'm like, okay, put it on the list. And still going into it, I had no idea that I was going to love it like I did.
You know,
so thank you.
Well, you're welcome. But it's interesting what you said about Lee Dong-Wook's character, Soo-yeol, because so there's things he does as Kay early in the drama, and he like knows it's Kay, but he can't control Kay very well. Like, he doesn't like know always when Kay is going to come out. And what I think is interesting is that, so Kay goes away kind of, okay? But he sort of got absorbed into Soo-yeol. So in a way at the end, like, Kay's sort of still there. So, because there's a part early on in the drama.
He pops out.
Yeah. Well,
at the end,
he does pop out too. Like, he's still there, but it's also like Soo-yeol has changed. I mean, he is a changed person. Yes. And so early on, there's this part where Kay comes like flying down these sets of stairs and does this like flying kick to this like person's head that is like a bad guy. Okay, that's just to like simplify it. And I love that the drama ends with Soo-yeol doing the same thing to a different bad guy. It's like they realized one of the police chiefs was corrupt. And so he comes flying down. And I think that's what I love about it, is that you saw that he has begun to absorb, like, Kay's in him now.
Like, accepts it. Yeah. Like, accepts the Kay part of him.
Accepts that he's a hero now. Because that was actually his job the whole time. I don't even know if we actually said that. He's like an internal affairs investigator, basically. He, like, investigates corrupt cops, but he's corrupt himself. Yeah, so the fact that he's, like, come into his own, like, hero power at the end, thanks to Kay, to me, it was just such a cool moment. Like, I finished the drama, like, that I think we talked about this on different podcasts, the OST is really cool. So, you know, he kicks this guy.
It's another one of those dramas where I watch the opening every time.
Yeah, and, like, the OST kicks in, and I was like, holy crap, I feel so good. I feel so good. I feel like I could go and do a flying kick in a baddie's face. Like that, I felt, you know what I mean?
Please don't try it. It's going to end up like floor hockey, and
yeah.
I don't want you eating shit.
And one more shout out to Cha Hyuk-yeon, who plays Oh Kyung-tae, which is this like baby cop who nearly dies 3 times. And he's so sweet. And honestly, he was a great character along with Soo-yeol's partner. And I mean, I liked the cops too.
Yeah.
Like, his partner was really funny. His partner was like really strong and kept threatening to like beat up Soo-yeol. And I just loved it. And you can't tell, like, I loved it.
I think the only thing I want to get off my chest is I am happy that you loved it as much as you both did. It was a romp.
Yeah, it was. That's so true. It was.
And I think that, honestly, I wasn't in like a great headspace to watch it in the last like week. And I don't think I would have liked it. I don't think I would have like, if I was in a more focused headspace, I'm not sure I would have had a bigger, I think this is going to fall out in like the Lawless Lawyer. So certainly this is not Sound of Magic. This is not Cafe Minimum.
I was actually just going to ask. I was like, okay, but do you like, cause you hated Cafe Mindong and you almost like regretted it. Yeah. You don't like regret watching.
No. I'm saying I put it into,
good.
I like it. I will like aspects of it, like the memes, like Lawless Lawyer. I like watching clips of it. But I will never go back and be like, I want to experience this whole drama from stop to go
I wouldn't
again.
do that either.
I will watch like fun moments from Bad and Crazy again and have good memories. Like, and you know, Onoju, like I'll watch Onoju, I'll watch Kay come up and be like, oh, I like those characters. But like the story, just like how the whole thing went, I'm like, I feel good. Like I'm ready to move on with my life. I put it in the, you know, I would give it a S for satisfactory.
That's fair. That is. And no, look, I'm glad. If you would have hated it like Cafe Minadong,
no, I didn't.
I would have felt really bad.
No. I mean, they're too cute. It's too sweet. It's just that I think where I get lost is when there is like, you know, we're on the case to solve the thing.
And that was a big part of, especially the back half of the drama.
Yeah. And if I'm not invested on what that is, then like, I don't really care so much. And I'm just like, I want more of just that. But I mean, like, look, the two of them together.
Delightful.
Great. Like they were great. They were not satisfactory. They were an A. Like an
Remember
A+.
when they're in the box truck together and Kay has to pee?
And Kay's so hot too, and he's like gonna take off his pants.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta take off my pants, and Soo-yeol's so mad. He's like, not like this, and he's
like, take off your shirt if you're hot. Don't take your pants. That's not what you do. You don't take your pants off.
Why would you take your pants off? And Kay like doesn't know. Kay is just so oblivious sometimes.
He's just like, it's so hot.
Because he's like a child. He's like a child who can beat everyone up. Oh, it's so great. It's so great. Well, I do appreciate you guys both watching it, and I'm glad it wasn't, you know, like a hated drama. I'm glad that we mostly enjoyed ourselves. I appreciate that at least one of you fell on the love side like I did. So thank you, Amy. But I do also appreciate your journey as well, Leah. So thank you for watching it. And yeah, I guess that's it. So please, I don't know, think good thoughts for me and my knee tomorrow.
And your pelvic floor.
And my pelvic floor.
And here's the thing is, you know, I feel like, I don't know how people are going to like react. Like, I feel like people like to do funny things when someone turns 40 and be like, oh, like, honestly, I think being 40 is fucking rad.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like 30s were like old. A heavy care.
No.
And so this is the thing is like the benefit I would say is like 20s. I feel like I didn't know what I was really doing, but I thought I did. Like I thought I was old enough to know what I was doing. I was constantly like, oh my God, I'm 20. I got to like do the things, but like I didn't really know. So I was just like, whoa, like, you know, whatever. Then 30s, I was really focused on like grinding out, like start like getting lucky to have like writing enter my life. I'm not lucky because I worked for it, but you know what I mean? Like I felt fortunate I was given that opportunity. And so I was grinding on that. And then I was also grinding as a caregiver. But then 40 starts to be like, I really do feel like it's a time that you can start to come into a lot of your power as a woman. And that's amazing.
That is how I feel. I feel like 40 is when I'm going to like, you know, take charge back a little bit. You know, my kids are a little bit older. They're still not very old, but a little older.
I don't know. You're married to the patriarchy, so.
I mean, I'm married to the patriarchy. Yeah. But I mean, like my college friends and I all turned 40 this year, and we're like, we're going to go to JCPenney, and we're going to get like those really corny photographs. Like, we're kind of
like portraits, like,
Yeah, we're kind of dressing in like mom clothes, and we're gonna do like corny prom poses.
Ooh, I like it.
And I'm so excited for it. And then we're gonna go eat hibachi because why not? Like hibachi rules, and I want an onion volcano.
Onion volcano, yeah.
I can't wait. I want him to squirt.
What? I don't know what this is.
You don't get an onion volcano if you go to hibachi?
I've never been to hibachi. I don't even know.
Where they cook for you? Where you sit
They
around?
cook for you. It's Japanese.
Yeah.
There's like this
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess I know, but I don't think I've ever been.
It's like a big, massive...
I guess I knew what hibachi was.
Oh.
I don't not know what hibachi is. I don't know what an onion fountain is.
Oh, onion volcano. They just make a little volcano out of onion slices, and then they light oil in the middle, and it's just like a fire.
And this happens everywhere, like to where you know about it too?
Absolutely.
Like, cross-regional?
Yeah.
If you go to hibachi, you have had an onion volcano.
Yeah.
I've never gone to hibachi, which is
I love it.
That's kind of shocking to me because like you've eaten everything. Like I'm surprised that you haven't done hibachi.
You should go.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Go. It's a lot of fun. Well,
yeah, no,
the
I'm
kids
not
would like
anti
it.
either.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
And then
anti.
they'll flip a shrimp into your mouth.
Yeah, they'll shoot he had this like squeeze bottle and just shot sake right in my mouth from like a foot away. And then for the kids, he had a baby sippy cup with just water in it, and so he would shoot like water in their mouths so they could like feel included. He'd go baby sake like that. Like baby sake, and he'd like shoot it in their mouths. It was so funny. And also it was like a lot. Like he's like sake, and I was like okay, and he like would not stop. I had to close my mouth and just let the sake like coat me because
you in the face.
Oh my god, like a porn shot?
It's like a full contact sport to go to.
Like,
hibachi.
stick your tongue out, Megan, and take it all.
But the food is it's good. I mean, it's obviously cooks it right there in front of you. It's great. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And I'm very excited about it. And I love turning 40. My aunt actually sent me these like chocolate covered strawberries today, which was very, very nice. I got it. She said delivered it to the house, and I called her and she's like, well, how you feeling? And I was like, dude, I'm excited. I'm not one of those people necessarily that's like, oh my God, I'm 40, which is okay if you are having big feelings. I just am having big, happy feelings.
That's good.
Yeah. And look, if you're having big feelings, let me come talk to us so we can talk you out of it.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have big feelings.
I think you should be.
So
yeah, I definitely feel like this is the year. I'm doing a lot of things that I wanted to do this coming year, and I'm excited about it. So.
And when we have this idea of like, oh God, we have to stay 29 forever so that we're found desirable, that's where we've got Neil showing up, just putting on his Kmart jeans that fit him no matter what. And, like, fuck the patriarchy. Like, be awesome. You don't need to pretend.
With his universal neck pillow that, of course, just magically
get your neck pillow for 2 months out. It's all good.
You know what?
I do look forward to every week. Let's have the installment of what is Megan packing this week for her 26 hours on the ground. Forget.
Is there a 60-day forecast?
Will you be there longer than like a night and a half?
Snorting.
Like because I thought it was funny because you were both talking about like what you were going to be bringing. I'm like, you're going to be there so short. You could just show up in your clothes with like, a pair of underwear tucked.
I was talking about what I was going to be bringing.
No, not what you're bringing, but like I need carry-on or whatever. I was like, you could just bring a pair of underwear in your back pocket for the amount of time you're going. Like, it's fine. Let's just like get this going. Amy, I'll bring you a toothbrush.
No, I will carefully plan. I'm crazy. I mean, I'm not taking a lot, but it'll be fine. Okay. So anyway, thanks again for listening to us tonight. I hope if you haven't watched Bad and Crazy, you check it out. Let us know what you think. And
I hope you have an amazing birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, what's your favorite cake? Are you having a cake?
Actually, so my husband's going to pick, all I want for my birthday is macarons.
Yeah.
That's all I ever want. So he's going to a local bakery and getting them for me. I don't really do cake. I mean, I'll eat it, but that's what I want. I want my macarons.
Those are good. Happy
macaron day.
All
right. See everyone.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoona delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!